and deem it to be credible and reliable, and if so, we're not opposed to acting upon it. Recently, we have received information which we felt was substantial enough to make us take another look at this case. The case has been assigned to 2 sheriff's homicide investigators who will be following up on the additional information, as well as any other additional information that may develop. Any questions?
Is Robert Wagner a suspect?
No.
Was it characterized as high information? Verbal information?
You know, I'm not really going to comment on the type of information we have, whether the evidence or the statements we're getting from people. We have several sources that have come forward with additional information, and as I said, we have found it to be credible enough to go ahead and take another look at the case.
Lieutenant, just the captain. This is more than just the captain.
Anybody else?
So at this point, it's an ongoing investigation. By your criteria that you go by when an investigation is going on, at this point in this investigation, you rule out that she was murdered.
Her death was ruled an accident, an accidental drowning, and that's what it is. If our investigation at the end of it points to something else, then we'll address that. But right now, her death is an accidental drowning.
But can you rule out murder at this point in your investigation?
It was already determined to be an accidental drowning, but the information we received made us want to take another look at the case.
Are you worried about the timing? Are you worried about the timing of this investigation?
Are we planning to
Go to Hawaii and take a closer look at the boat?
planning to go to Hawaii and take a look at the boat? We'll go wherever the investigation is going to take us.
Lieutenant, the captain said on national TV that he lied to your investigators 30 years ago. Your reaction to that? And will he face any charges for lying to police officers?
That I can't say. We'll probably end up talking to the captain sooner or later. So once we talk to him, we'll assess what he has to say and what happened then and now.
But he said today that he lied.
That most of us probably don't remember what we did yesterday. And here you're talking about someone who suddenly recalls what happened 30 years ago at the same time a book is being released.
She's asking about someone who's remembering things from 30 years ago and there's a book being written. I don't know. I'm not concerned with the book. That's not our concern. Just having already just the media attention we've received already on this, we've generated calls and people who have remembered things from back then, or back then didn't talk to the police and now want to tell their story. So already people are coming forward and want to talk to us.
Lieutenant, why wasn't a more extensive investigation conducted in 1981?
I'm not saying there wasn't an extensive investigation. I'm just saying this new information is substantial enough for us to want to take another look at the case.
Lieutenant, are you worried about the timing, given the coverage, the recent stories of the book? Are you worried that this will be viewed as something media-related, that the perception will be this isn't a serious independent investigation?
That's inconsequential to us. We're not concerned with the anniversary date. It may have jarred some other people's memories since it's been in the media, and they started coming forward with the information. So that may have been the timing that why it relates to that.
Robert Wagner said that he was not contacted by your office. Isn't it standard procedure to contact the victim's family to tell them you're reopening an investigation?
You're saying Robert Wagner's family wasn't contacted by our office?
Robert Wagner issued a statement yesterday saying that he has not been contacted by your office to this investigation. Isn't it standard procedure to notify the victim's family?
That's correct, and we're just opening up the investigation. We're just starting to investigate the case. So sooner or later we will be contacting his family.
Is Christopher Walken a focus of your investigation?
What exactly are you doing?
Well, we're doing what we do. We're investigations. We're going to follow up on the leads we have. We're going to re-interview some people, interview some new people, talk to people, and reevaluate some of the evidence.
Lieutenant, can you say that there's a possibility that it was not an accident? Is that a possibility at this point today?
Like I said, her death was ruled an accidental drowning. That's what it is. Until we find something that says it isn't, until that time, it's still an accidental drowning.
By definition, by reopening this investigation, aren't you insinuating that there is a possibility that it in fact was not an accident?
Not at all. What we're doing is we're saying we're not afraid to, if we get new information we deem to be credible, we're not afraid to go out there and act upon that information. And that's what we're doing.
Does the new information conflict with the information investigators
investigators had 30 years ago when they made the accidental determination?
I'm not going to comment on that and what the information is.
What's your message to people who may have been a witness to something happen back? What message do you have right now?
Of course, we want to talk to you. So if you saw something back then, you know what, have some information about what happened back in 1981, give us a call at the Sheriff's Headquarters Bureau.
Will Christopher Walken be interviewed?
I'm not going to comment on who's going to be talked to or who's not going to be talked to. I think you can speculate on that, but I'm not going to talk about what witnesses we're going to talk to or who we haven't talked to.
Lieutenant, just for clarification, outside of the captain, do you have additional information or additional people coming forward?
She's asking if we have additional information outside of the captain. I'm not going to comment on who's talked to us or who's told us what.
Was a toxicology report ever done?
I'm not going to comment on a coroner's report either. I think that's already been released, but I'm not going to get into that.
Is there any possibility you can use the new technology, DNA? There's a lot that's happened in the last 30 years. Will that assist you when you use DNA?
I'm sure whatever's available to us we'll use, yes.
Saying that you're going off of the recollection of someone other people have been identified 30 years ago. You just asked the public, do you remember something? 1981. Call you. Aren't you concerned that once you present a case solely based on someone's recollection, that stops working?
Well, I'm not saying we're basing the case on that, but it does help, obviously, if the people know something that happened back then, to give us a call. Like I said, we'll evaluate what they had to say. If we find it to be credible, reliable, then we may use it or just disregard it.
Any chance Natalie Wood's body will be exhumed?
I'm not going to comment on that. I don't know if we're going to do that or not.
Would somebody face charges for lying to you?
That you can make an arrest.
No, like I said, this right now is an accidental drowning. That's what it is. Just the information we have, we felt it was responsible. We should be responsible enough to go ahead and follow up on it, and that's what we're doing.
If someone admits they lied to you, Lieutenant, could they face charges? If I said I lied to you 30 years ago, could I face charges, as the captain has said today that he lied to your investigators?
Well, if they're inhibiting an investigation, yes, they could be arrested or charged with a crime, possibly, yes.
Is there plans to charge the captain? He admitted on national television today that he lied to investigators 30 years ago.
I'm not going to talk about we're planning on arresting anybody or doing with anything to anyone. We just want to talk to people right now, follow up on our information we have in the further investigation.
You won't say if you've interviewed the captain.
I'm not going to talk about who we've talked to.
Lieutenant, how does his saying he's lied affect his credibility in your investigation?
I'm not going to comment on his credibility. That's okay. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.